Hey, what's up, everybody? This is a DeFi enthusiast here. Welcome to the channel. I know it's been a while. I wanted to do a video earlier on Cult DAO, but I couldn't because I've been managing my private group and doing a lot of things. My crypto private group and stuff has just been pretty incredible, pretty insane. Making these calls there, and this has to be one of my favorite projects. If we read, let's have a look at the manifesto first. I want to show this to you. So let's go through it, and if I mess up any words, please forgive me. Good evening. Allow me first to apologize for this interruption. I do, like many of you, appreciate the comforts of everyday routine, the security of the familiar, the tranquility of repetition. I enjoy them as much as any bloke, but in the spirit of commemoration thereby, those important events of the past, usually associated with someone's death or the end of some awful bloody struggle, a celebration of a nice holiday, I thought we could mark today by taking some time out of our daily lives to sit down and have a little chat. There are, of course, those who do not want us to speak. Why? Because while the truncheon may be used in lieu of conversation, words will always retain their power. Words offer the means to meaning, and for those who will listen, the enunciation of truth. And the truth is, there is something terribly wrong with this world, isn't there? Cruelty and injustice, intolerance and oppression. And where once you had the freedom to object, to think and speak as you saw fit, you now have censors and systems of surveillance, coercion, your conformity, and soliciting your submission. How many of you can relate to this, guys? Because I totally can. In the light of the way everything around the world has become, it's more draconian, and it's just I can totally relate to this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and please, if you like, I'm going to say this before I read further, if you like this video, guys, please like and subscribe to my channel and just share it all around. Share it with your friends and family. Continuing, how did this happen? Who's to blame? Well, certainly there are those who are more responsible than others, and they will be held accountable. But again, truth be told, if you're looking for the guilty, you need only look into a mirror. I know why you did it. I know you were afraid. Who wouldn't be? War, terror, disease. They were a myriad of problems which conspired to corrupt your reason and rob you of your common sense. Fear got the best of you, and in your panic you turned to the only place you could, the government. They promised you order, they promised you peace, and all they demanded in return was your silent, obedient consent. Our hope is to remind the world that fairness, justice, and freedom are more than words. They are perspectives. So if you've seen nothing, if the crimes of this government remain unknown to you, then I would suggest you allow us to pass unmarked. But if you see what I see, if you feel as I feel, if you would seek as I seek, then I ask you to stand beside me, beside one another, and not wait, but take back our future. Order of the Guardians. There is a time when the operation of the machine becomes so odious, makes you so sick at heart that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part, and you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, upon the levers, upon all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machines will be prevented from working at all. Now, if this thing is already grabbing you, folks, this is the Cult DAO Manifesto. I am going to leave a link to this. You have to read it, because when I read this whole thing, I don't want to take too much of your time, because I know time is valuable. And basically, a few points that I wanted to show in this manifesto. So, if we look at the token economics, users transact cult and 0.4% tax is taken on every transaction. DAO Treasury collects fees. Users can stake cult into decult. Every 15.5 Ethereum raised is for a proposal. If a proposal is, or once it has been approved, Treasury will auto send 13 Ethereum to the investee wallet and send 2.5 Ethereum of cult to a burn wallet. So it's also got a burning mechanism which decreases the supply, which increases the value as the market cap increases. Does that make sense? Top 50 decult owners can submit protocols for investment with investee wallet addresses included in submission. Proposals can be put forward and approved without limit. They will just not be paid until the treasury has been replenished to 15.5 Ethereum of cult. Investee company sells their token for Cult at burn and distribution rate agreed. 50% is sent to burn wallet and 50% gifted back to Decult owners as rewards for staking. We'll talk about that. Frequently asked questions. Cult can be staked for Decult. The top 50 Decult holders are the guardians. All holders below top 50 have voting rights, and these are the many. So what is Cult? Cult is the tradable and liquid token of Cult DAO. Transacting Cult will contribute to the protocol by filling the DAO treasury slowly. To fund investments into decentralized technologies, this is achieved due to a 0.4% tax on all Cult transactions. So what is a DAO, guys? DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. What is Decult? Decult is just the proof of stake token for Cult. When you stake your Cult into the DAO, you are given Decult. This can be swapped back at any time into the amount of Cult you staked originally, plus any rewards that were given to the DAO in the time period you owned Decult. What makes Cult different from other decentralized investment platforms? That is what Cult is, folks. There is no control, no human interference whatsoever. We cannot change Cult. We cannot access the liquidity. We cannot upgrade or edit the smart contracts or the token. Cult is different because it cannot be stopped, not by the guardians, the developers, the government, regulation, or anybody. They can destroy the servers, but the code lives on. The investments into decentralized technologies remain. And what is the idea behind Cult, and how did it begin? Beneath this mask, there's more than flesh. Beneath this mask, there is an idea, and ideas are bulletproof. I love this statement, guys. And there's one other person, and I'm gonna delve into that a little bit once we're done with this. But this statement is very, very important because we'll get to why I'm so bullish on Cult and what's been going on. Cult serves to fast forward the collapse of the old financial system, to end the tyranny of sovereign nations and central banks. The current financial system serves to keep the people poor, exactly. A society built on debt needs inflation to function, and inflation serves to rob the poor and allow them to never catch up with their overlords in the ruling class. Cult began when Vasco da Gama sailed around the Cape of Good Hope and discovered the route to India. Cult began when in 1526 the first transatlantic slave voyage anchored in Brazil. Cult began and is born of oppression, of meaningless life, the slavery and chains which bind you and every single one of us. If you read this and believe that you are free, then you are more chained than us. True freedom comes with the realization and acceptance that you exist as a function and a cog in a central bank's ideal economic function. A central bank's primary focus is maximum employment. Yet we are automating jobs so fast that we are creating bullshit jobs just to keep us enslaved. Barack Obama's explicit justification in 2009 for sticking with the U.S. private health insurance system was otherwise millions of form-filling jobs would be lost. Automation of one's job should mean freedom. Freedom, however, cannot exist under the current economic and financial system. I repeat, true freedom comes with the realization and acceptance that you exist as function and cog in central banks' ideal economic function. The system is designed to keep us enslaved. We can't break out and live in the woods. Well, not all of us. Our body remains chained, but our heart is now free. So use Cult. Every transaction, deposit, and movements of the token allows you to contribute and fast forward economic and societal change. You can fight from within until you get out. How can I get involved in Cult? You're not your job. You're not how much money you have in the bank. You are not the car you drive. You are not the contents of your wallet. You're not your I can't use the word here, freaking khakis. You are the all singing, all dancing crap of the world. The first rule of Cult is you talk about Cult, exactly, which is exactly what I'm doing, guys. I'm talking to you about Cult, and I am so pumped about this coin, about this project, about this DAO. These guys, we'll talk about it. We're almost all oppressed in the society. That doesn't take away that some are much more oppressed than others, but rather than rise up, we argue between ourselves about who is more oppressed. You can't stand up for this. Why? Because of that. You are talking from a position of privilege. Who are you to speak for X? We are all prostitutes. Whether we sell what's between our legs or what's between our ears, there's only one winner, and that is the oppressor. I love the person who's behind Cult, what they have done, what they're trying to do, and what the concept is. What measures are in place to ensure that my crypto is protected? Our contracts and tokens are and is fully audited. Liquidity is locked. The keys burned, and the contract non-upgradable. So basically, folks, the person who created Cult, they created it. They don't hold any of it. They have completely given away the rights to their wallets. Now it's completely out of. It's been locked. There's a lot of authentication, and there's no one that can really access those wallets or take out liquidity, which is an amazing thing. Obviously, people who trade, they can always do whatever they want, but the people who initially invested in this, people like the person who created Cult, and he has no control over it. It's truly a decentralized project, a truly idealistically decentralized project. This is what I have been missing, especially when more regulations and everything are coming into the crypto space recently. This is a breath of fresh air. What is decentralized venture capitalism? The purpose of Cult is to empower and fund those building and contributing towards our decentralized future. Our society is built to make it as difficult as possible to break away from societal, economic, and other norms. We give funding to those who are ready to break the chains and have an idea that can change our world. What is a DAO? A DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization, the definition of which is argued almost as much and by almost as many who squabble between themselves in left-wing politics. A DAO in its purest form is what we have created with Cult DAO. Once Cult DAO launches, it will function forever, more with no human interference beyond what has been coded for it to be influenced by, which is votes from its holders. Nobody can dismantle the code, and nobody can stop it collecting funds and sending them to those furthering our cause. As long as the token is traded and as long as people are passing proposals, Cult will live on. So it's up to the community, folks. It's up to people. It's amazing. Who are the guardians and how are they chosen? What is their purpose? The guardians are the top 50 token holders. They are tasked with safeguarding which proposals are sent. The many to be voted upon. Due to their larger weighing and token share, they are not allowed to influence proposals they bring before the many. They may champion the proposal as much as they please, but only their voice may influence others, not their wealth. Where does the money invested come from, and how does Cult staking work? Users interact and trade with the token as normal. 0.4% tax is taken in the Cult token on each transaction. This means almost all transactions should clear on standard decentralized slippage settings. This tax is collected in Cult DAO's treasury and builds up to a USD value which matches the market value of 15.5 Ethereum. Cult can be staked for decult. The top 50 decult holders are the guardians. All holders below the guardians have voting rights, and these are the many. The guardians, the top 50 holders, are the only users who can put proposals before the DAO, but they cannot vote on them. These proposals must conform to all of the majority of these three criteria. Remember, folks, complete decentralization here. Fight against centralization, further the cause of decentralization, directly benefit a noble cause. These proposals can be from anywhere: VCs, community members, politicians, anarchists, socialists, the right wing, as long as they conform to the guidance above, and it is a guardian who submits it. Any proposal can be voted on by the many. A proposal must contain the total supply of the investee protocol token. The percentage of the total supply being offered in return for 13 Ethereum investment, the tokenomics, the audit of the token, and any contracts if built, the burn and distribution plan. The burn and distribution plan is the vesting schedule for the investee protocols token. For example, let us take for the investee protocols token. For this example, let us use a fake protocol, ABC DAO. The vesting schedule can be daily, weekly, fortnightly, or monthly, but cannot be vested over longer than 18 months at the very maximum. Let's say ABC DAO promises 1.2% of its ABC token, vesting once a month for 12 months. On the repayment date, rather than sending the token of the investee protocol like a normal VC-funded protocol would, the investee company instead swaps 0.1% of its supply, 1.2% over 12 months of ABC for a Cult. ABC DAO then sends half of the Cult to a burn wallet and the other half of the DAO, which is paid out to decult holders. I think that's a beautiful concept, folks. If a proposal that has been approved and the 15.5 Cult ETH value is hit, it will automatically send 13 Ethereum to the proposal wallet addresses provided and 2.5 Ethereum to a burn wallet. If a proposal is not approved, the cult will continue to build up past the 15.5% Ethereum level, but will auto send once a proposal is approved. Why can the Guardians submit proposals to the DAO but not vote on investment protocols? The power in people is stronger than the people in power. This cannot be forgotten. What type of decisions and investments will cult stakers pass votes on? Will projects only be cryptocurrency or blockchain based? We leave the decisions and the nature of the investee projects open to the Guardians and the many. We offer only our vision and guidance on what we created the protocol to be used for. Do I have to stake my cult when an investment protocol is agreed upon, or can I decide not to stake? If you would like to vote, then you must be staked. You will also only receive rewards from the investee companies if you're staked. However, you do not need to be staked to benefit from cult. Every transaction furthers the cause, and every burn decreases the supply of the token, increasing the scarcity. Exactly. What criteria must be observed for a DAO? For a DAO proposal to be eligible for submissions. Our guidelines follow: fight against centralization, further the cause of decentralization, directly benefit a noble cause, the total supply of the investee protocol token, the percentage of a total supply being offered in return for 13 Ethereum investment, the tokenomics, the audit of the token, and any contracts if built, the burn and distribution plan. What constitutes a noble cause in terms of investment? My fellow revolutionaries, liberation is a noble cause. We must fight to obtain it. What is the burning mechanism? Why do we burn 10,000 out of every 60,000 raised? We are not blind to the blockchain and crypto market's core attraction being the potential huge increases in prices of a token picked by a user. We are also wise to the previous financial system's tricks to keep the many subdued, and this is why our burn system has been designed to make our economic model hyper deflationary. Why do we offer full distribution in the form of 50% burning and 50% proportion redistribution? We, the many who are for the people, put our faith in the people. We fund those willing to fight for our future and reward them with our gratitude, community support, our trust. In turn, they sacrifice half of the tokens we have purchased from them and send them to a dead wallet. The other half are rewarded to the many for their contributions they have put forward for the cause by transacting in cult. From the 50% redistributed to cult stakers, users can then stake the cult again into decult. What is the difference between cult and decult, or what is decult? Decult is the proof of stake token. It is non-transferable. Only the users who stake their cult will benefit from decult. Owning a proportion of decult when profits are sent to the DAO allows you to claim your rewards, which is paid out in proportion to your decult ownership. Why is the investee token redistributed by converting into cult token? How will the rates of disbursement be agreed upon? The investee token is converted into cult as it creates additional transactions as well as additional buying pressure in the market. The rate of disbursement is offered by the investee protocol. A proposal can be brought about again once rejected, and so if the cause of the rejection is deemed to be due to an inadequate disbursement offer, the investee protocol can fix and make these amends. So folks, this is the manifesto. I personally love Cult DAO. I put money into it a few days ago, and I'm already making a lot of good gains with it. I'm holding this for a while because Cult DAO is a truly decentralized project that is trying to do something which not many are doing, and is actually trying to bring real decentralization into a VC venture capital fund. And in this world of centralization where more regulations are coming in the crypto space, a thing like Cult DAO is a breath of fresh air. And in the last 10 or 11 days, it has already done more than a 30,000%. And I got in about 3 days ago because I looked into it and what it was doing. And if we look at the Twitter here, Mandela Exchange has staked their entire cult stack. This is on March 30th, folks. Over 300K worth, and became a guardian. By the way, they are co-owned by Binance. I'm only here to speak about the movement Viva la Revolution. So this is huge, folks. Think about it. Mandela Exchange, which is really owned by Binance, which is one of the biggest crypto exchanges, bought $300,000 worth of cult and were staking it in the contract. And that's, that just doesn't happen for any ridiculous coin. And their audit has been passed. And anonymous devs contract ownership renounced. Automatic treasury triggers Ethereum on-chain governance. Liquidity locked for 260 years. There couldn't be a more fair launch and fair project than Cult DAO, in my opinion. Mr. Homodulus is the man, and I'm going to follow him right now. I've been following Cult's, the Twitter, the Cult Twitter page. So on the 5th April, as tempting as choosing the 20th was I will send a billion Cult, 15,000 USD at present, to the producer of the best video, either explaining the function of Cult, explaining the Cult Manifesto, explaining the purpose of our protocol, or anything like that. Basically, there we go. Yeah. So, what's really fascinating about all of this is the fact that Mr. Homodulus is working really hard in the marketing and promoting Cult, and not just him. The community is extremely strong. Not only that, Cult is not just listed on decentralized exchanges, folks. It's listed on BitGet. It was getting listed on Who. It's already and as you can see, a lot of people are talking about this project. And one of the most impressive things is DigiByte is one of my favorite coins. That I've talked about it in the past. One of the best projects out there. And DigiByte basically is just killing it, absolutely killing it, because what's happening is that DigiByte is a truly decentralized project. It's kind of like, its code is like Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin. Basically, Bitcoin is the OG, but without Bitcoin, nothing would exist. But DigiByte is kind of like, what Bitcoin should be, in my personal opinion. And the co-founder of DigiByte Foundation also supports Cult, and there's a tweet in here about that as well. Unicrypt, let's check out one of our latest launches that took place on Ethereum chain on March 30th. Congratulations on the latest performance. Currently, people got into the private sale on our, or in the ILO. Basically trading at a 48x ILO price, and it's risen much further here, folks. Solidproof.io is a very, very reputable auditing company that is from Germany. Now, Germany has very strict crypto policies and regulations, so this audit is very, very solid. Look into Solidproof.io. There's some good people behind it, and they've audited this project. The first rule of wearecult DAO is to talk about it. Yep. Hotbit just listed it. It's another really big exchange, centralized exchange. Centralized exchanges promoting decentralized projects, and I love it. Read the Cult Manifesto. This is a movement, and as you can see, that chart is absolutely beautiful from March 31st. The chart is still very similar, actually, overall, and where I want to show you a particular tweet here. Let's see if I can find it. MXC will be listing. This was on April 1st. We'll be listing as a spot trading pair USDT and Cult on MEXC Global. The next 100x altcoin, not Shiba but Bitcoin. Well, no, not Shiba. So next 100x altcoin, the next 100x altcoin Bitcoin dump analysis in today's video. Bitcoin analysis news, altcoin Cult DAO. The Martini guy is promoting it. There was a lot of hype around Cult. A lot of people, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of content creators are talking about it, and there are big people behind it. And so what's really interesting is that Mr. Homodulus is a very interesting character, because he retweeted one of the YouTubers' videos, and I don't know if I can find it here or not. I hope I can, but it seems like I can't. Who also listed it, but what I wanted to talk about is also this. Remember, I said DigiByte is one of my favorite projects. So Hans Koning, he said, last night EU Parliament voted to crack down on unhosted wallets. Not only a colossal mistake, but it also shows freedom is needed more than ever. Cult DAO, anyone? Join the revolution. So Hans Koning. Who is he? Co-founder of DigiByte Foundation. Metabrands.io. His interest is blockchain, decentralization, Metabrands.io, DAO, DeFi governance, all of that good stuff. Mr. Omodulus, there are a lot of talks about who he is and what's going on. And what's interesting is, guys, is that the one of the biggest meme coins is Shiba Inu, and Shiba Inu has got a market cap of around 40 billion plus. If I'm not mistaken, and Cult has a market cap of about 188 million when I checked last, or something like that, or 144. I'm not exactly sure, but we can have a look right now. I mean, this doesn't give the live price exactly. I will show you the live chart, exactly what the price is. But yeah, 146,339,188. Do you know when I got into this thing, the market cap was about 34 million? Yeah, so the growth has been insane. See, 45,000% in 17 days, folks. And if you look at the live chart here, it's just overall very bullish. There's a lot of buy interest. A lot of people are buying, and I've been just holding this, and I actually bought some more today. I put quite a bit of money into it even further, into Cult DAO, and it's just performing like a beast, and which it should have. When I saw this project, big people like Binance are supporting it, indirectly through Mandela Exchange, DigiByte Foundation, huge, some really big decentralized projects which believe in true blockchain tokenomics, true blockchain concepts, true decentralization, are all behind Cult DAO. There's something about this, and there's so many great exchanges listing this. It just doesn't happen for any coin or any project which doesn't have a lot of momentum or momentum behind it. And there are a lot of talks exactly who Mr. Omodulus is, and a lot of people say it is Ryoshi, the original creator of Shiba. Now, as you know, Shiba has been on an overall bullish trajectory throughout its inception, right? So what has happened is that exchanges like Coinbase and all these haven't really given the right attention to Shiba. CoinMarketCap doesn't list it properly either. Where it should actually be on CoinMarketCap, it's not there. There are some things which are interesting, and so a lot of people say that basically Ryoshi is the one who created it. Now Shiba has 3 tokens in it: the bone, dog, and leash token. And a lot of people talk about the logo here. If we can have a look at that, the Cult DAO logo. If we go up here, just a minute. So if we see it, right, those 3 tiers are supposed to be bone, dog, and leash. And if you look for Cult DAO on OpenSea, which is going to be a really interesting experience for all of you. Cult DAO, right? OpenSea. Let's have a look. OpenSea.io, which is one of the biggest NFT marketplaces. Let's just have a look. Cult DAO, and there it is. These NFTs, the Guardian of the Apocalypse NFTs for Cult DAO, which are right now. You can look at the prices on this, guys. These are absolutely, see that? Some are, the prices are absolutely insane for these, but 333 Ethereum, 666 Ethereum, 0.4 best offer. Some people have given that offer. And what's really interesting is that if you read through this, right, this is a number XXV. I think it's 25, if I'm not mistaken, in Greek. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure. I'm not too great at this. But if you read the overall thing, if you read each of them, okay, it's like A, every first letter, if you read it, A, M, right, of Mater, R of Robigo, O of Orcus. Basically, if you read this properly, what you'll find is it says, I am Ryoshi. So, not only that, folks, Cult is also a project which is trading on Shiba Swap. There are two dexes where it's trading, Uniswap and Shiba Swap. So, there are a lot of talks of Ryoshi being behind this. And, when we looked into the manifesto where it said, the name, behind the mask, the concept was that it doesn't matter who is behind the mask or who's behind the name. Ryoshi used to say very similar things, and even Ryoshi, when he created Shiba Inu, he did not own the tokens. He decided to give away the wallet, as in completely decentralized. No one owned it and everything, and so on and so forth. And that's why Shiba Inu is such a popular meme coin. But Cult DAO is not a meme coin. Most people thought that it was, but it's a truly decentralized venture capital project where there is no central entity that has control over the project. Whatever you do with it is community driven. It's got a level of governance in decentralized means where the highest staking wallets do become in a way become validators, right? For proposals and so on and so forth. But even they have they don't have power, right? It's you, the people, and this, in my view, is going to bring a concept like this is going to bring true decentralization. It's going to bring really solid projects into the play because there are some big people behind the Cult DAO movement, folks. And this is just my personal opinion. Again, nothing that I say is financial advice. You could get wrecked. So please do your own due diligence. My job was to tell you about this, and I will be talking about another really interesting project very soon. I am heavily in Cult DAO. It's one of my favorite projects, and I see a really, really interesting path for this token, for this project. It's already pumped a lot, and people have been wondering, when do I get into it next time? I can't tell you that, but it's just been on a tear, and it's had a very few cool-offs, but then it started to go up again. So it's completely up to you if you want to get in or not. If this resonates with you, if their manifesto resonates with you, which I read a little bit of, you can read the entire thing. If it resonates with you, again, not financial advice, but, check it out. This is me, the DeFi enthusiast, signing out. Have a great day or night wherever you are. And we are Cult DAO. We are Cult. We are Cult. We are Cult.